everybody. I'm teacher Amr Adel, the teacher for scientific subjects of both English and Arabic languages. Now we will start the lessons of mathematics, and the first lesson today is about complex numbers. Before to know the complex numbers, we have first to know the kind of numbers. Okay, now let's start with the first kind. Before we started, look at this equation, which is x minus 8 equal 2. Now we want to find the value of x. Transfer this 8 to the other side, it will be from minus to positive. Then x equal 8 plus 2, which is 10. 10 is what? 10 is a positive number, which is belongs to natural numbers. What is the natural numbers? Okay, simple, it is all the numbers but in positive. Okay, from 0, 1, 2, 3 up to infinity. Any numbers, but must be without point. Yani for example, 3, 5, 6, 10, any numbers. Okay, now look about this equation. X plus 9 equal 2. Now transfer 9 to the other side, then x it will be 2 minus 9, which is minus 7, which belongs to integers. What's that mean? Now, minus 7 belongs to integers. Integers are what? All the positive numbers and the same positive numbers but with the negative sign. So integers now is including positive number and negative numbers. Okay, all the numbers but with the two signs, negative and positive. Okay, look about this equation, which is 3x equal 1. Now divide both sides by 3, then x equal what? 1 over 3. Oh, now we have something new, which is what? Rational numbers. What is rational numbers? It's all the numbers and we have to add something new, which is the point. For example, we want to say, for example, 2.3. It's a rational number. 1 over 5, rational number. Minus 10.12, also rational number. For example, 1 over 8, also rational number. So the rational numbers, all the numbers, so are positive or negative, and we have to add point something. So if we have any number, point, number, so it will be what? A rational number. Right. Now we have what? We have this equation, x squared minus 2 equals 0. Now we would like to find the value of x. Transfer this to the right side, then x squared it will be 2. Take the square root for the both sides, then x it will be what? Root of 2. Now we have a new kind of numbers which belongs to real numbers, which is what? All the roots. If we have any number under the root and this number, the result of this square root is, for example, now this square root in a calculator it will be 1.414. So look about this number, which is very big and very long. Now this number is a real number. Okay, now what we have, this equation. Now we will start our subject deeply. Look here, x squared plus 2 equals 0. We want to find value of x. Just transfer this to the right side, it will be minus 2. We would like to find the square root for both sides. Then what? Then x equal root for the minus 2. Oh, something new. If we have to see previously the real numbers or integers or natural numbers, we can't find something like this. Square root for the minus or negative numbers. So what the scientists have to make to solve this problem, they have to make something like that. Before we start, we have known from before that the square root for any number can be integer number or a real number. So now what they are going to make, look about this negative number which is under the square root. To find the answer about this, which is impossible example to be solved, they have to be what? This negative number, which is negative 4, they separated into two numbers, which is minus 1 multiplied by 4, which is minus 4. Now, then it will be equal root for the minus 1 multiply root for the 4. Root for the square root for the 4 which is 2, but square root for the minus 1, it will be removed and put what? I. Why I? Because I is the first letter of the word imaginary. So we have to put in our mind I, which is the square root of the minus 1. So here, when we remove this one, which is the square root of the minus 1, then instead number, which is what? I. So now the answer, it will be what? 2I. So if you have any square root for the any negative numbers, directly remove the negative sign, then put outside I. Okay, and for example here, if you have, for example, what square root for what? Square root, for example, 16. Okay, it will be what? Now directly remove the minus, and put what? Put I outside. Then write the root again without minus. Okay, to be easy for solving. Now, what is the square root for 16? It's 4, and I, it will be written. So now we have to know the first thing, I, which is the square root for the minus 1. So now if we have, for example, I square, it means I multiply I. I is represents what? Represents square for minus 1. Minus 1 under the square root, multiply itself, it will be what? Minus 1. Okay, let's see. The I cube, which is I multiply I square. I square, which is minus 1 from here. So minus 1 multiply I, it will be what? Minus I. Okay, look for this one. I power 4, which is I square multiply I square. I square from before, we know it, which is what? Minus 1. Multiply itself, it will be what? 1. Now, if we have, for example, I power of 5, it will be what? It will be I multiply I power of 4. So why we did write here I power of 4? Because I power of 4 is present all the time 1. To to be easy and solve any example, look this number which is more than 4, put it like this. 5 is the present 1, multiply I power 4. I power 4 is which is what? 1. I multiply 1, it will be what? I. Okay, look about this. I power of 6, which is I power of 2 multiply I power of 1. I power of 2 from here, which is minus 1. And I power of 4, which is 1 from here, as we know from before. Now minus 1 multiply 1, which is what? Negative 1. Look here, I power of 7, which is I cube multiply I power of 4. I cube, which is I multiply I square. And I power of 4 here. I multiply I square which is minus 1, and I power 4 which is 1. Now if you multiply, I multiply my negative 1, multiply it will be what? Negative I. Okay, look about this. I power of 8. I power of 8 which is I power of 4 multiply I power of 4. It means 1 multiply 1 equals to 1. So we don't have to solve all the equation by this way or all the examples by this way. So it's so hard and take a lot of times. So if we have, for example, I power of 9, 10,000, hundreds, anything, we have another way. Look about this. This example, I power of 12. So put in our mind that I power of 4 is equal to 1. Okay? So by this law, we have to divide this power. Look about this power. Divide by what? Divide by 4. Why by 4? Because as known we before, that I power of 4 is equal to 1. So we'd like to know how many I power of 4 in this I power of 12. So now look, 12 divided by 4, it will be what? 3. 3 multiply 4, it will be 12. Then the remainder, look about this. This is the remainder, which is very important. The remainder is what? 0. So now easily remove the 12 and put instead of it 0, which is the remainder. Then directly I power of 0 equal 1. So we have looked from before, anything power of 0 equal 1. Look at this example. I power of 102. Okay, we have two ways. The first way, divide directly this power divide by 4, and look, the result is 25. We don't get it any attention. Just look about the remainder. Remainder is 2. Remove that 102 and put instead of it what? The remainder, which is 2. I power of 2 is what? Minus 1. Okay, look about this. This is a very big number, more than 100,000. No problem. We don't have to be afraid. This I power of 2102. How to solve this one? Directly remove the third and fourth digits. Then what is the rest? I power of 2. I power of 3 is what? Minus 1. Easily. Now, look at this power which is in negative. How to be solved? Look here. We have to remove this sign by put it from numerator to numerator, okay? By what? Make it upside down, which is 1 over I power of plus 62. Now 62, as we know from before, divide by 4, what is the result? 15. We don't care about this. Just look about the remainder, which is 2. So remove the 62 and put what? Put 2. I power of 2, which is what? Negative 1. Then I divide by negative 1, which will be 1, negative 1. Now look at this example. I power of negative 81. Directly, as we know from before, make it upside down to remove this negative. It will be 1 over 1 I power of plus 81. Take this 81 and divide by 4. The result will be 20. Then take the remainder, which is what? 1. I power of 1, which is what? I. 1 divided by I, it will be 1 divided by I multiplied by I on I. This way, if we have all the time I in the denominator, just multiply the numerator and the numerator by I over I. It means multiply by 1. Then 1 multiply I, it will be I, and I multiply I, it will be I squared. Remove the I square and put my negative 1. Then I divide minus 1, it will be negative I. Okay? Now look at this example. I divide power of minus 51. Like that before. Make it from up to down. It will be 1 divided by I power of plus 51. How to remove this 51? Divide by 4. Make long division. 51 divided by 4. It will be 12. And the remainder down, it will be 3. Remove 51, put 3. It will be I power 3. Which is what, as we know from before, which is I multiply I square. It will be negative I. We can know it from up sides, okay? Now, I divide by negative I, just multiply both up and down numbers by I divided by I. Now, I multiply 1, it will be I, and negative I multiply I, it will be negative I square. Remove the I square and put negative 1, it will be I divided by minus negative 1, which is I. Look at this number, which is small or bigger, sorry, I power of negative 100. Make it down as usual. It will be 1 over I power of plus 100. This 100 divided by 4, what will be the rest? What will be the result? 24. Then the remainder, it will be 0. Directly remove 100 and put what? You put 0. Then anything power of 0, it will be what? 1. Then 1 over 1, it will be 1. Okay, up to here we have to know something which is very, very important. That if we have, for example, if we have, for example, what? Any example and you want to solve it, okay? Directly, all the example that you are going to solve, I power of anything, which is n. This n, which is the number, must be belong to integers. Look carefully, must be integers. So it must be number, negative number or positive number without points. Okay? So all the example, you will observe something. The result, it will be I or negative 1 or negative I or 1. Look, be careful again about this lesson. You will find this result all the time. And we have known from before the all kind of numbers, which is natural numbers and abbreviated with n, and integers with abbreviated with I, and rational number which is abbreviated with Q and the real numbers which abbreviated with R. And the complex number we will know from the next lesson what is its abbreviation letter and how can we know all the kind of complex number. And now up to here we have to stop. And if you like this video, just like it, make like and subscribe and share it with your friends and family. And thanks a lot to you.